Uh, well, I guess I'm finally getting to the video I wanted to send you. You see that dent in my hood? That was me hunting in Prospect. Dogs were bumping on something. I was in a cow pasture full of cows. And this little, I think it was a 3-pointer or spike or something, he came stumbling out into this field, running in circles, running into the cows head on. What in the hell is wrong with this deer? But there were so many cows around, I couldn't get a shot on him. But he would. He'd run and trip and stumble and run right smack into the side of a cow. Eventually, I got a little space. I laid my 30-30 down across the hood. Got the crosshairs on him, pulled the trigger, and nothing. I mean, gun went off. Deer didn't drop. He ran around some more. Chambered another round. Pulled the trigger, nothing. Finally, the deer ran, I don't know, about 60 yards from me, so I got up off the hood of the truck. I just put the crosshairs on him and shot him dead. Something had happened to him, maybe in a fight, but he was blind. Both his eyes were all fogged up. He couldn't see. That's why he kept running into cows. But my dumb ass, the reason I wasn't hitting him is I had my barrel so low to the hood of the truck, bullets were bouncing off the hood and flying up in the sky. So that's a 30-30. Ricochet. Oh, God. Excuse me. I've got terrible indigestion. Trying to repair my stairs in my treehouse. I'm going to post you another video about how I screwed that up. Squirrels are back. Driving me and the dogs crazy. But I guess it's more story time with my cool lighter. I think I told you, well, I know I told you. My friend Francis Wood passed away several weeks ago from ALS. I hope I can tell this tale and get to where I want to get to without screwing it up. But so, and you'll know who the players are. I don't want to say their names, but we had a group of guys. We hunted on Francis Wood's property. We hunted everywhere. We hunted most of that into the county. But we had a little base camp, basically, on the back end of Francis's property. And that's basically where we planned, figured out what we're going to hunt, drive, or whatever. But this particular, I think it was a long weekend. We were doing several hunts. One of them was that big Mary Elizabeth Hicks hunt. We were hunting with Prospect Hunt Club. We were hunting our land. We were hunting Dog Hill. We were hunting everything. And loosely call him the president of our little club on Francis Wood's property, made some contact with a gentleman who claimed to own a piece of land, 40 acres or something, cut over, thick as Hades. And we knew, we knew that thing was slam full of deer. We're such dumbasses. So the quote-unquote president brokers a deal with the quote-unquote owner. If whoever wanted to hunt, we give this guy $50 a head, and he'll let us have a 3-day weekend to hunt it. Not liking this cigar so far. So we all coughed up $50 because we knew we were going to put on a slaughter. And I pulled my truck up in there in that cutover, backed up, everybody surrounded. I dumped the dogs, Ishi, Woodrow, Trixie, I think I still had kudzu. And I ain't gone 15 yards. And they hit. Oh, 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 oh. Boom, 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 boom. Shots were going off. One of the guys, he dropped 3. Dogs went on down a little further. Boom, boom, they dropped 2. One got up in front of me, I dropped it. I think we killed 7 or 8 in 10 minutes. And we went back to Dog Hill, put on some drives there. Woodrow and Trixie, they hit at the Burley Barn. They crossed Plum Creek, heading straight to 460. And I lost a signal on my tractor collars. So I told everybody, I said, look, I gotta find my dogs. They're heading to 460. So I left, went searching, finally picked up a signal, and sure as shit, they had stopped. They were standing still, and it looked to me like they were right on 460. I said, God, both my dogs got hit by a car. And anyway, I followed the signal. Parked the truck, got out, and I heard this holy hell barking, howling, moaning, screaming. What in the hell are they doing? So I called the guys and said, hey, I got something going on up here by 460. The dogs are baying and howling. And we're see what's happening and get back with you. So I grab a shotgun in the 44. And I go marching down through these. It's all cow pastures, a couple of veins of hardwoods running over. I go down to where I hear the dogs baying. And Woodrow and Trixie had caught a buck. They had ran that deer all the way from Dog Hill to 460 to the point of exhaustion. And they were fighting this buck in this cow pasture. And I tried to call them off. They wouldn't let go. Buck's got his head down. He's swinging and swaying. His tongue's hanging out. I mean, they're all three of them are exhausted. I can't get a shot. I can't get the dogs away from him. And Trixie would come in from behind the deer and nip at his rear ankles. And when she did that, the buck would turn around and try and horn Trixie, and Woodrow would jump in and go for the neck. And I guess the deer finally figured out what their strategy was. And Trixie was jerking on his back legs, and he didn't turn. And Woodrow ran in there to jump on his neck. The deer dropped his head, scooped that dog up in his horns, and tossed him right over. Holy hell, he's gonna kill my dogs. Once he got Woodrow over his back, it's kicking Trixie in the head, and he sprints like 50 yards. And I'm just a split second, and I took a Hail Mary, because I was too far. It was about 85 yards. But he sprinted about 50 yards and slowed down, and I cracked one shot off, and I hit him with something. I think I hit him with one pellet. But he was still game, fighting, and dogs jumped on him again. Ran around that field for 20 minutes. Finally got Woodrow back. Trixie wouldn't give up. Deer made another little sprint. Finally put it down. Nice little 8-ball. Yeah, so I'm at this damn cow pasture. I don't have 4-wheel drive. I'm supposed to be hunting 3 miles the other direction. So I put the deer in the truck, tie it down, go back to the hunt. They were having lunch about then. And I think I had made arrangements to go pick up Hunter in Powhatan. Yeah. Now, mind you, in Virginia, when you shoot a deer, before you move it, you're supposed to pull a tag or check it or call in and do all this stupid shit that I just hate doing. And so it slips my mind a lot of times. And it did that day. I worry about my dogs, worry about my son, worry about the hunt, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I ate lunch at Dog Hill. Tell him I'll be back in an hour. I gotta go pick my son up. So I haul ass to Powhatan. On the way there, I saw a suspicious looking vehicle just all blacked out on the side of the road. Just struck me odd. On the way back, I got Hunter coming back to Dog Hill. Well, that suspicious looking vehicle happened to be game wardens. And they had somebody pulled over on the side of the road. And I went by them slow. One of them looked over his shoulder. I kept going. I didn't think anything about having the deer in the back of my truck. So I go back to Dog Hill, do a couple more drives. Needless, part of the story I left out is we gave that guy $50 a head and killed all those deer. The president, so to speak, of Francis Wood's property took all these deer and he hung them up in this pole barn that I built. We went back that evening on the same block and killed 2 or 3. And we had 10 deer, 10 or 12 deer in that barn. But as I was saying, went back to Dog Hill. We put on another drive or two, and then we had a big meal, hanging out, telling stories and whatnot. All right, I've had enough. I had Hunter with me. I didn't want to get in trouble or make an ass out of myself. So I told the guys, I was like, all right, I'm heading back to Francis's property. Spend the night there, see you in the morning. Okay, cool. Had a couple quick scotches before it was only 3 minutes away, 4 minutes away. So Hunter and I get in the truck. We're going back to the trailer at Francis's. I mean, out of nowhere, pitch black dark. I'm the only thing on the highway, and boom! Somebody just comes up behind me on my ass. Headlights, high beams, and then click. They throw the lights. Blue lights. So I pull over. There's 3 game wardens. And they are all, they're in tactical gear, got their guns, look like a damn assault SWAT team or something. What the fuck? And they had a trainee, I guess, rookie. They were trying to, I assume, teach her how to do road stops or whatever. She comes up to my window, some great big burly 6'8" guy behind her. And then I didn't realize there was another game warden came over on the passenger side by Hunter, scared the shit out of him. She starts asking me questions about where have I been and the deer, did I check it? And I didn't check it. I've been running up and down the highway, chasing my dogs, picking my son up. So I'm going to go back to the trailer where we're staying, check it in. She says, well, where are you staying? I said, right down the road here, not a quarter mile. I don't want to say the name of the road. I did say the name of Francis Wood, and I said who I was hunting with, my quote-unquote president. And they were all over. Yeah, we know all about him. Yeah. We know exactly where you're going. We know exactly what you're doing. What the hell does that mean? She said, where's your hunting license? It was on the dash of the wallet. But when the blue lights hit me, I learned, well, I guess I haven't learned. I took the 44, even though I had a concealed weapons permit. I don't want any friction. So I took the 44 out beside me in between the seats and I stuck it in the dash. She asked for my license. I reached up on the dash to get my wallet, and all 3 of them grabbed their guns They're like, don't do that, don't pull the gun. I'm not trying to get shot. I'm trying to give you my license. I said, here, take the damn gun. And they go, well, we don't want the gun. I said, well, I don't want to get shot because I have a gun on the dashboard near my license. So what the hell are you going to do? I said, move slowly, give me a whatever. So I gave her the license. Meanwhile, a deputy sheriff pulls up. Behind me. I'm like, this isn't going real well. I said, I just had 2 scotches, figured I'd be home in 3 minutes. Wouldn't be a problem. And now they're dragging me out 30, 45 minutes. Hunter's over here in the corner, just, I mean, he's not happy. He doesn't like these guys pressuring me and pressuring him. I said, they're gonna string me out here until I can get above 0.8 level, then they're gonna arrest my ass. Anyway, they fiddled and farted around for much longer than they needed to. And I wish I'd have known my rights. But she comes back, gives me a ticket for not checking the deer. Gives me a ticket. I gave her the wrong license at first. And I pulled the tag for a turkey, but I had never checked it in. So she gave me a ticket for that too. Let me get out of here. But they were all over top of the fact that they knew where I was hunting, and they knew who I was hunting with. So I take the ticket, whatever, sign. I pull out, heading to the camp. And the deputy sheriff pulls in right behind me. God damn it. And I went about 100 yards. So I'm not doing it, because this happened to me before. I said, I'm not giving him anything. I'm not giving him any probable cause. So I pull off the side of the road, put my hazards on, take the keys out, set them in the console. He slows down behind me. He waits for about 10 or 15 seconds, and then he pulls past me. Now, I didn't know if he knew where I was going, so I thought maybe he was going to set a roadblock up or something. I didn't have but a couple 100 yards to go. So I called the president of the club at Francis Woods. I was like, what in the hell have you done? He's like, what? I said, I just got pulled over by the game wardens. They know all about you and the land and where we're hunting and what we're doing. They were asking me all kinds of questions. I don't know. I said, well, I'll tell you right now. I said, you got 10 or 12 deer in that pole barn? Every single one of them better be tagged in pretty damn quick, because they know you, and they know me, and they know they're coming. I said, they just gave me tickets, and they knew exactly where I was going. The deputy sheriff just passed me. I'm sure he's on his way there now. Well, everything's fine, everything's legal, whatever. Anyway. I guess the long and the short of a very long, drawn-out story is my buddy, the president. He had gotten in some trouble. A while back. And he wasn't supposed to be hunting. wasn't supposed to have a gun. But it worked out that, at least at that point, I got back to the trail. I kept asking, what the hell's going on? Why are they so interested in us? I don't know. It wasn't until later I found out. He made a mistake. We all make mistakes. He wasn't supposed to have a gun. Whatever. But Francis, as generous as a guy he was, as he told me one day, the whole hunt club thing has just ran its course. It's time to go. Hey, no problem. Appreciate it. We were hunting there for free, basically. Got all equipment. We kind of trashed that one end of his property. But there was some resistance from a former buddy of mine. Didn't want to go. One thing led to another. Francis had a cousin or something who was I don't know what the hell he was. He was some form of magistrate or legal entity or something in the town. And he found out. He found out that we should not have been there. Some of the individuals I hunted with, and I was clueless. I felt it went downhill pretty quickly. But eventually, we got all our shit out of there. The president, my former buddy, he managed to get out of that situation without getting locked up, which was a blessing. Because he could have been screwed big time. I even told him he was going through a divorce and custody. I was like, dude, you got some enemies out there, and all they gotta do is drop a line on you or plant a gun in your truck or anything. Your ass is going to prison. I think eventually long and the short, it went south. We finally got out. But I had no hard feelings with Francis, and I tried to stay in contact with him. And I did. I think I might have said that before. And he invited me back several times to hunt. He told me, he said, anytime you want to hunt, let me know, give me a call. See, I'm done with the whole hunt club thing, but if you want to hunt, let me know. And I was always too embarrassed, really, to take him up on it. Because I did have the blinders on. I mean, I didn't know exactly what the particulars were, but I knew there was some shit going on. I knew something wasn't right. But I was just embarrassed, so I never went back. But as I said, he just passed away from ALS. My good buddy, Francis Wood. So you learn something new every day. He had written a poem called The Hoarfrost. 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 Which I looked it up, and it's a real thing. It's a real phenomenon. But in the end, this is what I was trying to get to. I figured instead of reading my juvenile poetry, I'd read some professional poetry. So this is a poem called The Hoarfrost by Francis E. Wood. On a shivery morning as I lay beside the place that was my fire, a wispy breath did leave my lips, a veil of heart's desire. Nearby, a withered stem unknown drew forth a wistful eye, and beckoned me to rise and see, a gift from one high. The woody vines and shrubs and such, with pods of showy bloom, did glisten and chime and capture the time, and this I give to you. 'Twas as if God had touched the wood and draped its limbs in jewels, then stirred the air to begin a song to still the hearts of fools. How glorious, but so frail a sight. My heart became a tear. I prayed that I might ne'er lose sight of this moment yet so dear. I bowed my head and closed my eyes and wished I could not think that life is like a hoarfrost and gone within a blink. One's loves and tears and laughter, fleeting moments old and new, can be like jewels on tangled vines and wooden avenues. So watch the hoarfrost careful and listen to its chime, for God will drape the souls of men with adornments as divine. I thought that was pretty slick. Never knew what a hoarfrost was, but when I looked it up, now I know. Anyway, thought you might enjoy that. Hope I didn't bore you with my long-winded hunting stories. We had some fun on that guy's property, that's for sure. Yeah. Alright, I think that's the last video I'm going to make for you today. See ya.